Let me ask you a question. Have you had an idea that excites you and terrifies you at the same time? Have we had that? Good, good. Have we? Have we? Okay, good. I'm here to speak to you, not teach you, to speak to you about vision casting. I think you are told about it. And what I've just asked you is what I see vision as. It is that thing that you don't know. It's like a color that you have never seen, but you know somehow in you it exists. That is how I see vision. So, my name is Betty Musyoki. He called me Mrs. Musyoki. Madam Musyoki, he called me Madam Musyoki. My name is Betty Musyoki. The last time I was here, I spoke to a group like you. My story was very different. And my story evolves a lot. And I think I'm so excited to speak about vision because this is what vision is about. Vision is not static. Vision grows, it changes, it matures, then it starts again. That is what vision is all about. As you go through life, don't expect to have one idea that will take you through life until your grandparents. No, it changes. So my story was very different last time. I have a different story. I have a new story that I'm excited about. And I'm so glad to share with you today because it's very fresh. So I stand here in front of you to speak as the founder and managing director of a cozy restaurant in Spring Valley called Sugarbowl. I don't know who has, any of you has come across that restaurant? You have seen it? Where? Not online? Oh, I was hoping you'd say online. I'm trying to be very Gen Z. So, yes, I have a big presence. My socials, I'm trying to be online. So that's a very cozy restaurant on Lower Kabetes, Spring Valley. It's called Sugarbowl. And about 2 weeks ago, my vision evolved and it matured. And I opened a new restaurant, which is a sister restaurant of Sugarbowl along Mombasa Road. It's called Sugar and Lime. So we are how many days? 14 days. No, we are more than 14 days. We are about 14 days. Okay, well, let's say 14 days old. So that is who I am. And apart from that, I'll speak a little about my past, which he knows. But apart from that, apart from running 2 restaurants now, I've also gone into the arts scene a bit. I've gone into production. I've gone into podcasting. I currently I'm a producer of a podcast called Casually Human. Please look it up. I host it at Sugarbowl. So, where do I start now? Now, by the way, feel free to ask questions. I'm not here to teach. I'm just speaking and sharing my journey. So, how would I describe vision casting? Vision casting for me, and this is my story. This story belongs to me. I own it. You have your story, you have your story, you have your story, right? So I would like us to understand that I'm speaking from my own experience, my own journey. Vision casting, it sounds like a very difficult word, but it's not difficult. It is that what we were saying, an idea. You have an idea, or you have a dream, or you even have a wish list. And because it is yours, you keep seeing it, you keep dreaming it, you keep thinking about it. But you need to actualize, right? How do you actualize? So vision casting is about having that idea, having that plan, having that strategy, having that, I had there was presentations here, whether it's a pitch deck, whatever it is that you have come up with, that you dream, and getting other people to believe in it and see it. And it's not a guarantee they'll see it in your way. But the moment you have somebody who's willing to listen to it, that is called vision casting. And that is where you start from. That is where I start from. I dream big, I dream small. I dream wild, I dream happy, I dream sad, everything, right? But I've been able to get people to listen to me and believe me, trust me, invest in me, whether it is financially, whether it is emotionally, whether it is mentally, whatever it is. So having that team around you that enables you or supports you to actually actualize that dream or that plan that you have. That is how I see vision casting. Shall I continue? Good. So I would like to share a little about my story, how I am where I am, and about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I was a very busy woman doing real estate. So my background is real estate. I work with drawings, I work with designs, I work with contractors, I do leases, I do management, very practical things. That has been my background. And of course, before that, I've tried many, many, many things. But as of 2 years ago, that's what I was doing. I was busy building, designing, and managing. What was I doing that time? I was doing restaurants. So I have built a lot of restaurants in Nairobi, out of Nairobi. And in that, which is what my training is, not necessarily restaurants, but real estate, I got to interact with other people in the business, and I started learning restaurant operations. What is restaurant operations? I can't cook, but I know where the pans are bought, right? I know there is marketing needed, so we need social media, or whether it's outdoor advertising, marketing. I know I need to do accounts. I know what accounts for restaurants look like. Profit and loss accounts. Whoever is doing accounts here know that. Anybody doing accounts? Your P&L, you know that? Good. You understand what HR in a restaurant looks like. That is the interaction that I got. And I took a lot of interest. But still, I kept going back to my training. My training is, I'm a certified mall manager, one of very few in Kenya. Don't know how many we are, but yes. I keep going back to, but that's my training. So my dream all along has always been to own a mall, because I have managed malls. I have built malls, I've managed malls. All the big malls you see around, somehow I'm involved in it. That has always been my dream, until I went to a company that does restaurants, and I started building restaurants, and I started site acquisitions for restaurants. And then it became interesting, and I started having small dreams, and I would sit and think, I'm seated there with the team. I was fortunate, I was senior management, and you listen to everybody doing their presentations about their department, where they are, where they want to go, strategic plans. And I would sit and I would ask, how do these guys do it? Like, what would it take? But I took interest. And slowly by slowly, I found myself running almost everything within the business. So I knew what marketing looks like. I knew what HR looks like. I knew what finance looks like. And finance, I heard about him talking about him. You were talking about funding or something. I know what investors are looking for. So I would say I had a bird's eye view of the business. One day an opportunity came up. As I was doing this, you meet a lot of people. And I met somebody, and he said to me, I like what you're doing. I see the growth and everything. Before I even get there, whoever I was working for at that point had very aggressive plans. We were looking to do 100 restaurants within the region, East Africa. So not only Kenya, East Africa, we're talking about Kigali, Dar, Kampala. And I was supposed to drive that plan. I was responsible for it. Then guess what happened? COVID happened. Guys, remember what happened during COVID? Restaurants were shut down, right? And here you have investors who have come from the US. And let me tell you, when you speak with investors tell you, we are not operators. We don't know how to clean spoons. When you sit in a boardroom with investors, they're asking you, what's your plan? How many branches are you looking to open in the next quarter, right? I want to open 5 branches. All right, take us through. What does that mean? That means, how many locations do you have? How many leases have you signed? How many have been designed? How many are under construction? When are you opening? Have you recruited the team? Have you trained the team? All that. The systems, of course, are in place because by the time you're going through such an expansion, you need to have a solid system. That is what you talk with investors, by the way. Anytime you have an investor, it's always about numbers, however those numbers look like. It could be anything. It could be numbers of quantity, volume, whatever it is. So COVID happened and everything changed. And we couldn't expand the way we were supposed to expand because now we were scaling down. Restaurants were shut down. What do we do with staff? And at that point, I was an employee, but I saw a risk in what I was doing. I said, will I still have this job? What does it mean for me? Because I was brought in here specifically to oversee the growth and expansion of this brand. What if we are not able to do it? Not my doing. Not my doing. But business environment, that is what we call business environment, right? And I started thinking about it. What can I do? And I started talking to different people in the industry. I have done consultancy. I've been both in and out of employment. And when I'm not in employment, I'm doing consultancies because people are looking for experience. The kind of experience that we have, people are looking. I've been fortunate to work for international companies. I've traveled abroad, worked with different people. So people are looking for that. And I gave myself the room to work with people. And in one of my interactions, I met somebody who says, you know, what you're doing, why can't we do this as us? I said, what are you talking about? He says, oh, you know, I think maybe we can set up something, restaurants. I said, okay, do you have a plan? In my head, I want you to listen to this very clearly, because sometimes we are where we are, not because we were born to be where we are, but because either opportunities presented themselves and you were in the right space, or you saw it and you grabbed it. We don't grab opportunities, that's our problem. You wait for it to come to you, it doesn't come. When you see me here, this is an opportunity for whatever it could be, right? Maybe I'll never stand in front of you. So what you do with this opportunity is entirely up to you. So in my head, I'm thinking, all right, I'll help you set up, this is what I do. And he says, no. You know what, let's do this together. I said, me? Like, are you serious? No. No. It had never occurred to me that I could be a restaurant owner. But look at this. I always wanted to be a mall owner. A mall is 10 times a restaurant. So there's something that was happening there that I could not see. But when he planted that seed, for the next 1 week, I was not sleeping. I would wake up at night. Really? Can I do this? Can I do this? And I said, okay, fine, I'll do it. This is a person who has no idea, has never done anything in hospitality. But he knows I'm a hospitality expert because now of the experience that I have. Remember, I'm not even trained in this. And we started it. And this person is an investor. So guess what? The vision was mine. I built a vision. And I said, if you're going to do this, this is how we are going to do it. Right? What do you do first? You go into the market and do a market study. Do market research. What's there in the market? As much as I'm in the industry, sometimes it's also good to just go and put it together. Collect data. Data is very important. Guys, in whatever you're going to do, data is very important. Collect as much data as you have. Come and look at that data. Synthesize. You start making decisions from the data that you have. So I collected data and I realized this is what we have. This is what the market is asking for. So maybe I can fill the gap. Right? And there started my dream. I was fortunate because I was able to actualize that dream. And by the way, guys, not that I knew it would come through the way I was thinking, but I believed in it and I decided I'm going to go for it. So there came many days of hard work, sitting in a restaurant because I didn't even have an office. I would sit in a restaurant. So the first steps, go find a location. That was easy for me. Cup of tea for me. I do that all the time. Find a location, negotiate the lease. You have the lease. Okay, fine. Get an architect. I have an architect. Okay, I'm telling the architect, this is what I want. And it was a difficult conversation. You know what we did? We ended up going to Istanbul. Right? Why do you think I went to Istanbul? Benchmarking. Again, it's also market study. Went to Istanbul, looked at what there is. Istanbul, Dubai, looked at what there is. And I know what Kenya has. I know what Nairobi has, right? So I knew this is exactly what I'm going to bring to the people. And at that point, the architect was able to give me what I was looking for. We designed it, a lot of input. This is your vision. You cannot say, let me tell you the mistake we make. Even if you have money to pay a professional, be part of the process. Be part of the process. Don't remove yourself. I sat for hours with the architect. Okay, I like this. Render it for me. Show me how it looks like. Until we were happy with what we have. And then the project started. And I spent many hours on site. Construction. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. This works. Let's try this. Let's build this. Let's bring down this. And as it was, when I started seeing the form, then I felt, okay, this is coming through. And at that point, I went and started now the other side of the business, because this is the hard side of the business. The brick and mortar that you see is the hard side of the business. The soft side is now you start looking at the various stakeholders. Who are your stakeholders? Staff, suppliers, service providers, which includes your bank, includes very many people in the ecosystem. So you go and set it up. Then you start looking at, okay, fine, you need to start thinking about where are you getting your furniture. At that point, I already knew what I was going to bring to the people was not just a restaurant. I was not going to sell food and drink. I was going to sell an experience, because I know that is what people are looking for. Believe it or not, everywhere you go, it doesn't matter where it is, there's an experience you're looking for. You'll go there, you have your laptop, you're looking for a PowerPoint, right? You're looking for Wi-Fi. You're looking for somewhere where you get service. You're not there all the time calling people. You're looking for a place that probably you're stressed out and it calms you. You know, these things matter. So I knew I was going to sell an experience. So if you look at what I have built today, it's all about how I make you feel as my customer. My customer is king. So when you walk into my doors, how do I make you feel? So all that had to come together. I handpicked everything in the restaurant: the table, the chair, the cutlery, the cups. I would pretend I'm sipping just to feel how I'm feeling. You know, when you're in a restaurant, it's super exciting. You have I don't know, like I can serve you 10 different types of coffee, right? And by the way, every coffee could be served in a different cup. There's a reason. It's like alcohol. There is a flute glass. There is wine glass. There is whiskey glass, right? When you think about it, you could eat and drink from anything, but it's just that experience that you get, the satisfaction. And I was very clear about that. So I handpicked everything. There's nothing in my restaurant that I haven't handpicked, right? And all this is a way of bringing my vision to life, because I could see a happy space. I could see a space where people come. You know, you're stressed out from life and you come and you chill there and you're on your phone or your laptop, and you know, in that moment you're there, whether it's 1 hour, 2 hours, you're happy, right? That's what I wanted. And I was able to deliver that. And through that, I operated Sugarbowl for, is it 12 months? I think. I knew I needed to do something different, because what feedback I was getting from guests, sometimes you're limited. Because, for example, when I give you my menu, I chose, because of the location, I chose a menu that caters to the people around. I look at my primary catchment. In any business, there's a primary catchment. The people who are closest to you, the people who will be the first to come. And the kind of clientele that I had there they're very specific. These are people who want a certain lifestyle. They want a healthy lifestyle. And that dictated what I'm offering, right? So I saw that and I said, okay, this is what I'm going to offer. But then there comes, this is funny. We started what we call the burger offer. Buy one, get one free. You guys need to experience that. And it was on Tuesday. And where did we push it? TikTok. I had to open a TikTok account. I didn't have a TikTok account. And all of a sudden, my restaurant is full. And I look at these people, I'm like, oh my goodness. No offense, these are my Gen Zs. And I'm so happy to see them coming. But they only come on Tuesday, right? They only come on Tuesday because it's buy one, get one free. They come on Tuesday. And then I said, okay, so if they're coming here and they're enjoying the experience, I need to create something for them. I absolutely need to. So I started casting the vision again. What can I do? I knew my plan was to have a couple of restaurants, okay? But how they look like, I promise you, I did not know. But because of being here and seeing the interaction and the feedback that I'm getting, then I started building this dream again. Oh, what if I create something that is part of this, but different? And that is how Sugar and Lime was born. Sugar and Lime is cheeky, it's bold, it's a happy space, it's cool, it's relaxed, it's very vibrant. I like the vibe. I've come here with two people there. I know I'm going to embarrass them, but it's all right. That is my son. That is my daughter. Just stand up and wave. That's Alan. Alan is a student, like most of you are students, right? He's a student at JKUAT. He's doing architecture, going to third year. That's Mukina. Mukina is a student Strathmore. She's doing finance. Thank you. You can sit down. Don't kill me when we get home. But the reason I've come with them is because they have been a very, very big part of my journey. Right? And I'll come to that when we're talking about vision, how it relates. I would sit for hours with them. And I'm saying, guys, okay, first and foremost, they have to teach me how to relate with Gen Z because my workforce is 20, 22, 20. I don't think I have anybody above 30. Alan, do I? I don't, eh? Yes, I'm the oldest in my company. It's all right. They treat me like, yeah, she's old. It's okay. So I needed somebody to bridge that gap for me. Because what happens is when you sit in a place where I sit, you're just seeing ahead. You're moving. You know, you're hungry. You want to move. And you forget you have a team behind you. You need to carry them with you. And sometimes they can't keep up, right? And you don't notice. And you think, and you're frustrated. You keep wondering, why aren't you doing what I told you? You know, why aren't you? You know, I had a talk about, I had him mention the ChatGPT. I've come in late. I was supposed to be here at 12 o'clock. I've come in late because I was interviewing somebody, an employee, and I looked at her CV, and I said, are you sure you're coming for a job? There's nothing written, right? How in today's era you cannot write a CV is beyond me. ChatGPT is free, isn't it? How on earth can you not write a CV? And I put the CV aside and I gave her a talk. I said, this is not acceptable. Did you prepare for the interview? Right? You see what he was talking about? There is no excuse. There is no excuse. Do not write for me BRB. No. I'm not your friend. I'm your employer. Full sentences, even on text. And it doesn't matter what generation it is. Communication is meant to be understood. So when you write to me something I don't understand, you know, you're not communicating. Do you understand? So anyway, my kids have been very, very instrumental in my journey. My second branch in particular, when I opened Sugarbowl, my son has an interest in cooking. He went to the kitchen for 3 months. He was cooking. I think in 3 days, he understood the menu and he was cooking in uniform. There were no privileges. In fact, they only got to know that he's my son later because in the evening they would see me going home with him, right? There were no privileges. There was no entitlement. So in 3 months, he helped me with that kitchen. Not only was he learning, but he was also giving me feedback. And I started understanding the team that I have in the kitchen because most of the times you're not even engaged with the team in the kitchen. You're in the front of house. The guests, the guests are the ones that are keeping me alive, right? So I'm there constantly with the guests, the experience, with the waiting staff. Are they giving you the right service? But behind the scenes, back of house, I had somebody who helped me. So he was very instrumental. Come Sugar and Lime. I said to my children, okay, now we're going to open a second branch and I want it to have a different vibe, totally. Because Sugarbowl is very uptight. It's very formal. Sugarbowl is a place for business. And I wanted something different on the other side. I wanted something fun. So I started working with my children. Guys, you have no idea how much AI we have incorporated into the business. Proudly speaking of a user of AI, yes, it was made for us, right? But you have to understand how to use it. Don't go and copy everything and bring me. I know, if you write me an email from AI, I will tell you. Because you don't know how to customize it to your feeling, to you. We have worked a lot with AI. My son there has been very instrumental. Design work. You know, we mock up. We take photos and we tell AI to mock up for us. We want this, 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 this. And it has come through. Our menu is the funniest thing. We had so much fun when we were doing our menu. It has the funniest names. We worked with him. My daughter, she's my biggest support when it comes to, she's younger than me, but I think she's way intelligent than me. She calms me down, right? She believes in me. She's my biggest believer, right? When I tell her something, when I'm doubting, these are my dreams, which is the vision, right? Tells me, but yeah, mom, you can do it. So long hours that we have sat doing things together. She's always believed in me. She's held my hand. You come to my restaurants, I have music, I have background music. All my playlists, she's responsible for that, so thank you. So what I'm saying, that's part of my journey. Because of dreaming and allowing myself to try and actualize the dream, I am where I am. It is not because I was trained for it. It is not because I have so much experience. You see, my experience, yes, it has contributed to where I am, but everybody who knows me comes and asks me, how are you in the restaurant? How are you running a restaurant? Because even previously where I was working, I was never the face of the restaurant. I was the guy who would go there and spend hours with a contractor, brick and mortar building. But operations, it wasn't me. Now when you walk into my restaurant and you find me and people are like, what are you doing here? Yeah, that is me. So that is my journey. Another time, maybe I'll speak about the other one that he knows. But that's what I wanted to share with you today. And the other thing I wanted to say when it comes to vision, it is the most scary thing, believe it or not. When you have an idea, you know, it comes from something sometimes you can't explain. Maybe you saw something. And it's not about, you know, me seeing, for example, this tablecloth and saying, but I'm going to do this in my restaurant. I've seen, oh, okay, the tablecloth looks nice. But what I will do is I'll think about how can I use this tablecloth in my restaurant? So does it have the same theme that I have? My branding, because my branding is everything. So when you set up something like this, the branding that you do represents everything from the cup that you sip with, to the cup that you do your takeaway, to the colors in the restaurant. I have to follow through the branding. So when I look at this tablecloth and I say, okay, fine, this is red and white, checked. Okay, maybe I'll do floral, but it will not even be like this. It will have whatever ideas. And I tell you that, you're looking at it and you tell me, no, but only this works. So for me to be able to convince you that it can work in another way that doesn't look like this, doesn't necessarily look like this, is not easy. People will doubt you, people will not believe you, people will not trust you, and most of the times it will be very lonely. That journey is lonely, and it's okay. And let me tell you, you should get worried if people don't behave like that. If people don't respond with questions, with doubt. You know, sometimes people mnasemaga nini? Ati huyo amechizi huyo. Because they think you're crazy. But remember, all you need to do is just get the few out of this room. If two believe in what I'm doing, that's sometimes all you need. So don't be scared of having a vision that is too big, too wild. Somebody said to me one time, your eye gets used to a color. So for example, you see this color? What would we call it? Yellow?
Beige.
Beige. This is not beige, but it's okay. Probably the person who was painting said, I want it to be beige for the sake of you, thank you. I want it to be beige. And all of us disagree. We're like, no, maybe it should be red because of the brick. Maybe it should be brown because of the floor. But guess what? They did beige. And all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, gradually with time, we look at it and we think, it is perfect. So what does that mean? That we start getting used. Push on with your idea, right? As long as you know your boundaries, you're not disrespectful, you're not stepping on people's toes, people will gradually come to accept and believe in you. So please don't give up. What I would want to tell you, encourage you, you guys are full of brilliant ideas. You come to me and I look at you and I'm like, man, I wish I would support this. How? In fact, my question to people is always, what can I do? Because I'm sold. What can I do? Right? Don't give up. You have to keep at it, keep at it, keep at it, keep at it. And let me tell you something, even in my business, I have had many, many days where it is morning and I cover myself. I'm like, oh my God, it cannot be daylight. And I'm serious. It cannot be daylight. How am I facing this one and that one and that one? I've not paid that one and this one is showing I don't have an answer. And when you sit at the top, everything comes to you. So people think that I know everything. HR, finance, blah, 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 marketing. I don't. And sometimes I have so much fear, I don't even want to, even when I'm leaving the house, I'm like, but I can't. My biggest lesson in my journey is show up. You have to show up. It's yours, you have to show up in whatever way. And guess what? When you show up, I walk into the restaurant. There are days when I walk into the restaurant and there's no business. And as a business owner, it is almost depressing when people are not walking in because you start doubting, you start questioning. Did I make a mistake? Am I going to survive through this? I'm an entrepreneur. And in my journey as an entrepreneur, I keep saying, one of these days I'm going to write a book. I keep saying, I now understand why entrepreneurs die before they start. Because we have the ideas. You go to the bank is not giving you money. So many banks have said to me, you're high risk. Why? Because you've not done this business before. Because you don't have 3 years audited accounts. I'm starting off. Where do you want me to get 3? Like, you guys will come to us for employment and I'm telling you, but you need 2 years experience. You're like, but I've just come from college, right? So it is the most difficult thing. I have had many, many moments where people have refused to believe in me. People have refused to buy my idea. But I would show up. So I have shown up every day at the restaurant when it's not busy. And you find the staff are looking at me. And here is the hardest thing. I have to keep smiling. Guys, sometimes, shall I say it? Shall I? Excuse my French. My daughter says I have RBF. Who knows what RBF is? Yeah, it didn't come from me. That's what my daughter says. That I'm there and I look like I'm annoyed. I don't even know I look like I'm annoyed. So I constantly have to keep remembering people are looking at me. Just smile. Even if you feel like there are very many moments I felt like I'm choking. I can't breathe because of all the responsibilities that I have. But over and over, it has proven that when you show up, let me tell you, the universe also meets you. Okay? But more than that, do you have faith in God? Do you have trust in God? Because I would leave the house. There are many, many, many days I couldn't pray. I promise you, I did not know what to say. And I would pick up the phone and I call my mother and I say, Mom, you're praying. My mother will not ask me, what are we praying for? She's like, okay, you want us to pray? I'm praying. So in your vision, when I was telling you about having people that can walk with you, these are the people that you need. What's your support system? If you don't have a support system, your vision will struggle. And you cannot deliver a vision without a support system. So the support system, it could be your family. And by the way, let me tell you, these visions test your family like you cannot believe. Because I have a husband who I've been married for 23 years, who does not know me as a restaurant operator. So how do I explain to him I'm going to run a restaurant? He'll tell me, no, what are you doing? Stay in your job. We have children in university. They need school fees. We need to get school fees. Let me tell you, it's hard. The closest circle around you, they know you, which is a strength and a weakness, because sometimes they don't even enable you. They don't even allow you, right? So I have gone through that. There are people who look at you and they think you're losing your mind. You're so good at real estate. Why do you want to throw that away to start this thing? So those moments are there, very many. But back to what I was saying in the restaurant, yes, my team will look at me and I have to look all prim and proper. Like, I got it, guys, don't worry, I got it. I don't even know where the salaries are coming from, right? So one day at a time, as an entrepreneur, as you guys are coming into the job market, whatever you're going to do, wherever you're going to start, it doesn't matter, because we started. I was once you. If I tell you where I started from, you can't believe. I was once you. But what has gotten me to where I am? One, I made sure that whoever I am with, they can see my value. Right? Don't wait for me to extract value from you, because how do I know what, only you know what you have. Only you know what you cannot do. Imagine how much power you hold. You hold so much power, because if you know that right now I'm standing here and I'm looking for a chef. If one of you is a chef, you know that. I don't know. So in whatever space you're going to get into, make sure that you know your value, you know your worth, and you're willing to put it out, to put it front, right? Wherever you're going to go to, you might not have access to the MD, because it takes time. Growth takes time. But you'll always have a boss, a leader. You will have a supervisor, you'll have a manager, whatever title. Just make sure that person knows you, because you could be in a department where you're 30, right? So if there's a promotion, how will you be promoted if the manager doesn't know you? And being known is making sure that, yes, you're writing good English, your grammar is right, you're dressing well. Look at your environment. Yeah? I run a restaurant, and I keep telling them, guys, you cannot come here full of tattoos, because the industry dictates it. Yeah? You cannot come here with, the nails I'm talking about. Yeah? My fellow ladies, we know ourselves. Makeup that I look at you, I'm like, okay, I take a back step, like, what just happened? No. Learn where you're going, understand, and fit in. When you fit in and you start understanding what your value is, then you start playing into it. Pole. You will soon start standing out. When you start standing out, that is how you're picked. I know there are so many students who would want to be in this space where you are, right? How are they not here? Surely, I believe there's something right you've done to be here, right? So, well done to you guys. Whatever you're doing to put you in this space, continue doing it in whatever spaces you're going to go into. Are we together? So please think about it. I already think you're elevated. When I think about the students, I told my kids they're going to come here today, because why are they not part of this forum? I don't know. Right? But let them see this. Let them see the spaces where it's happening. Because when I speak to you like this, I'm not your teacher. I'm giving you real stories. I love stories. I'm telling you what it takes for me every day to show up as the MD. Do you have questions so far? Are we together? Can I stop or I continue? I continue. I would like us to remember that when you have vision, like I said, it evolves. Don't be scared. Somebody said to me, and I like that person. I really like that person. And that person calls me in a week 3-4 times. A very good friend of mine. And he says to me, Betty, I hope you don't take me in another way. I said, what do you mean? He says, because every time I come to you, I have a new idea. I spoke to you yesterday, I was thinking of doing this. Today I'm speaking to you, I have this idea. And I said, never stop. Never stop. Because out of 10 ideas you have, right? Out of 10 dreams you have, probably half of that, not half of one is what is going to materialize. So you can never stop dreaming. Never ever stop dreaming. Never ever stop trying, right? And you're coming into a world, I can't even imagine how difficult it's going to be, and it is for you. The other day during Mandamano, I was so scared because my restaurant is in a fuel station along Mombasa Road. Did you see how they vandalized? And I did not know whether I would be a victim, and I'm 2 weeks old. And I would look at those clips, and I look at the young people, and I say, I understand you having a voice, but there's a future to protect. How do we protect this future? And here you are coming into this world, job world, whether you're going to be a business person or an employee, and you're meeting all these people who have different perspectives on life. Like, I think you have good formation. I like what you're going through here. This is solid, guys. Don't take this for granted, right? But then you'll come out of this space and you have this other group who have never been exposed to what you have been exposed to. They have never interacted with people like us. This is real. And all of a sudden, you start thinking like them, and all of a sudden your opinions change. You need to be solid, you need to be firm, because you're here for a reason. You're seated here listening to me because you have a small dream somewhere, you have a wild dream somewhere, you have a big dream somewhere, and you don't know where to start from. But I'm speaking to you to tell you, I was there, and I'm there every day. I have opened my second branch, and I'm seated and thinking, all right, so what's next? People think I've lost my mind. But life is not static. Life evolves. Everything around you changes. So if you're not going to change, you'll be left behind. So let's keep showing up and trusting in what we have. Somebody will buy it. I have so many people I went to asking them to support my business, to finance me. And they said no. Like I told you, they called me high risk. As I speak right now, you can barely have a moment with me. This bank is coming, that bank is coming, that supply is coming, that one. Because all of a sudden they realize, oh, you mean it was going to grow? You mean a second branch was coming up? You mean it was real? Right? Look at how things change. Some months, 3-4 months ago, I was in a very bad place. Yeah, because I knew what I wanted. This is my vision. And so many times I sat with people with business plans, right? With pitch decks. I would cram things I'm going to say. And you think you've done the best. And then after that, they tell you, well, we hear you. We like your idea. Yeah, but we'll speak to you next year. It's crashing. Then you go to the next person, and it continues. So the next person I go to, I will tweak my conversation or my pitch, because I've learned from the other one. They said to me, oh, if you had done projections for 3 years, then we would understand where you're taking the business. Now, I went with projections for 1 year. I did not know that they need 3 years. But now, because they've told me, the next meeting I will have 5 years projections. When somebody asks me, do you think you'll achieve them? I already have steps to show them how I'm going to achieve. So it's, you cannot give up. You have to keep showing up every day, every day, every day. Your visions will definitely affect your life. The choices you make, the decisions you make, right? And the impact is big. You're going to lose. I am telling you, last year I had so many people around me, friends, and I'm very loyal. I'm loyal to those who are loyal to me, right? So I'll always look out for my friends. Okay, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? And I am surrounded by professionals. I'm a professional. So the company I keep are professionals naturally, right? So there is no person I don't know. And I had such a big team for my first one. Guess what? In my second one, people have dropped naturally. Is it painful? It is so painful. Because you keep thinking, but I'm sad there, feeling sorry for myself. But I've walked with this person for this journey. We've grown together. We've done this. I've done this for blah, 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 blah. But this is life, right? People will come and people will go. Accept that. Some will hurt you a lot as they leave you because you keep thinking you should have them. But let me tell you, it's for the best. It's for the best. Because I always think, if I did the first one, and it's a success, I started a brand from scratch. It was not existent, from scratch. Why can't I do the second one? Is it possible? Absolutely. So allow those who want to leave to leave. Allow. Don't be too scared. Don't cling. Don't cling. Nothing is permanent. Even friendships are not permanent. Right? The only thing that will never change is these are my kids. This is my blood. That will never change. Even if they said, Mom, we don't want you. It will never change. That's my blood. Right? So don't cling to something because this is the person who started with you. That person might be stifling you. That person might not be happy with your success. And you need to be able to recognize that and say it's okay, and you move on. So think about your relationships, start building. There are certain people who you know will always be there for you. And I have that. I have a very good support system around me. There are people who I know, just a phone call. We may not talk every day. We may not talk the whole month, 2 years. But when I make that call, the phone will be answered. And it will be, what can I do for you? So imagine now, I'm on the other side also. There are people calling me and I'm asking, what can I do for you? Right? So, yeah, just understand that as you go through vision casting, there will be so much growth. And growth is uncomfortable. Guys, you know, people think growth is a good thing all the time. It's like you hear, have you ever heard of the term growing pains in children? Children cry because of growing pains. It's uncomfortable, like when the teeth are coming out. Oh my gosh, we all know that, right? But they need to come out for new strong teeth to grow. So look at that in your vision. Just understand that it will be hard, and that's the difficulty of it. Understand that you will have a lot of sleepless nights. Understand that you'll have some very, very exciting times, very happy times. And they're just moments, because the next moment you're confronted by the fact that, okay, rent is coming, this supplier is coming, this supplier. And you know, we have crises in the restaurant. You come and find, okay, fine, you've run out of potatoes. And the restaurant is full, and people want chips, and people want mashed potatoes. What are you going to do? You know? So it is not easy, it's difficult, but embrace, because that is part of growth. If you don't have those challenges, you're not growing. Just understand, growth is uncomfortable, growth is difficult, but it's necessary for you to get to the next step. So be ready to go through that difficult phase to go to the other side. I would like to quickly talk about my lessons in the first year of business and now my second year of business. And like I said, I'm focusing on these 2 years because that's what is exciting. That's my new baby. That's what is exciting. I've learned that you don't have to be clear with your vision. Because again, you're dreaming about this thing. Maybe it hasn't been done. So then how are you going to do it? How is it going to look like? It doesn't have to be clear, but you have to have conviction. You want to do it, then believe. You have to have conviction that, you know what, it is going to happen. This is the way it's going to look. I don't even know maybe how I'll do it, but somehow I'll do it. I've learned that, okay? I've also learned to speak about it. If you, like I said, if you don't tell people something or what you want known, they will not know. So even as I started this journey, I would find the right forums. It could be a coffee meeting I have. It could be peers. It could be my mentors. I also have mentors. In fact, those spaces are very important. And I would go and speak and I say, you know, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? And half the time you're told, no, that doesn't work. Half the time you're told that, right? But because I was very sure, I've been successful in what I've done before, I'm going to be successful in what I'm going to do. I kept talking about it, but in the right forums. I was very careful not to tell people who would probably, there's sabotage. In my career, I've seen so much, and we're talking on high level scale, sabotage. So you need to understand who is around you, who you're talking to, who is available to you. Some people are calling you to steal your idea. Do you know what we do? And when I speak about we is executives. I'm an executive. I will sit with you, I will listen to you, and you have an idea, and then I steal your idea. You know why it's easy for me to steal it? Because I have the resources to execute. You're struggling, you don't have anything. Probably the only thing you need to execute your idea is a laptop. You can't afford a laptop. I can buy 10 laptops. So you need to know those people. There is a very prominent businessman, he's late now. You all know him, I will not mention his name. And he was known for buying out ideas. He would look at the most brilliant people and he'd call you to his office. It's a privilege to even be in his office. and he'll listen to you, and then he'll give you some money. At that point, you've been given 100,000. It means so much to you because it's 100,000. Then he goes and blows it. Now you find it's become a global system. Those people are there. But it's okay. If you felt 100,000 is what you needed and you can come up with another idea, then you could be that person, right? Your idea is just, your work is idea generation, right? No problem. Just know your space, what you want. Is that your vision? I welcome you. If you think you are brilliant at ideas, bring them. We'll buy, bring them. As long as that's your vision. But if you think you're coming to me with an idea because you want to grow it and I'm stealing it, then don't talk to me. So please understand the people around you. Understand that you need to speak about your vision, but you're speaking to the right people. And then please be okay with being misunderstood. If you're not misunderstood, then you're just like the next person. Maybe you have a mediocre idea. You know? It's okay. It's fine. Let people misunderstand you. As long as you're not disrespecting each other, it's all right. Move on. So it's okay. I've been misunderstood a lot. I opened my restaurant the other day and somebody came to me and said, somebody I never expected and said to me, oh, you've opened a nightclub. I said, what? What? It was a first for me. Nothing in there says nightclub. And you think about the investment you've made there. And this, by the way, hurt me because this came from a person you'd never expect. And then I processed it. And I said, you know what? That's what you think. It's up to you. It's up to you. Right? And I moved on. Then you have to have discipline. And this, I will not even speak about it because it applies across board. In everything you're doing, you must have discipline. Whether it's timekeeping, major issue is timekeeping. And I feel terrible that I came late. It's timekeeping. Timekeeping by then disrupts you. Can't even imagine. I'm panicking, I'm driving very fast, I'm telling I need to make approvals, payments on my laptop, my kids are there with the laptop, I'm telling them, okay, approve this. Look at how disruptive it is. Yeah, so please, we notice, please keep time. And I'm speaking about it simply because you have noticed I came late. My apologies, it was not intentional. Right, so let's keep time. Time is very valuable. One last thing about what I've learned, and I'm applying it. And I think it's very important in where I am right now in my career, in my life, is making sure whatever I'm doing is serving others. We serve humanity, don't we? Don't we? We live for humanity, right? So is it serving others? How is it serving others? Am I creating impact? I will do anything right now for impact because I've had life. I've enjoyed life. I've been around, guys, right? Life has been good. And I choose to say life has been good because I've cried many times. I've been heartbroken many times. I've lost a lot. I've started businesses. I've done it. I'm a Kenyan. I had greenhouses. I didn't do quails. I have had greenhouses, right? I did Bitcoin. Yes. I've tried it, right? And you move on. You're like, okay, I've lost money. I've lost a lot of money. But the lessons I've taken from that, I can tell. The moment I see something, I can tell whether that's genuine or not. Yeah, whether that will work for me or not. So with all that, I'm here to serve, rightfully so. I'm here to teach you. I'm here to hold your hands. I'm here for impact. It's very important because you must give back. You must give back. If you're blessed, and even you're blessed, whatever I'm speaking about today, go and speak to somebody else. By the way, you don't have to pick everything I'm saying, right? Sieve. And you know what? Even in your relationships, whether it's your boyfriend or girlfriend, sieve what you say to the other person, right? Yeah, because not everything that you believe in is believable by the other person. Maybe it's only 10%. So if you feel I'm saying something that makes sense, speaks to you, pick it, don't hold it to you. Go and share with your brother, with your classmate, with whoever it is, right? So I'm here for impact. And that's very clear for me, even in my vision, that whatever I'm doing right now has to be impactful. Surely the world cannot bless me so much and I don't give back. It doesn't work like that. So I would like to, don't know what time it is. Okay. I would like to close.